but I must say, if you understand psychology, you spoke about operant and classical conditioning. They're not the same. They're different. We're not having a psychology class right now, maybe another day. However, to that fact,
hold on. I know they are different, you know. What I was talking about is conditioning.
Oh man, I know. I'm saying, remember the people I listen to in a neighbor. So may I say, so may I delineate that they're different. But we're not get into that today. But to that, I will say that when you've conditioned a mindset, do you know what it takes to recondition that mindset? It requires.
Yes, sir. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you that in my job, well, my previous field of work, I developed behavior modification programs. And one of the things that you do in behavior modification is that you help people to unlearn something that they have learned. It is not easy, sir.
Ah, beautiful.
Because what you have to do is to provide incentives along the way.
Yes, it's you use the same method to recondition like you use to condition. It's just that you give different prompts.
Right, but the challenge with the society now is what are the incentives that are to be given to Jamaicans in this reconditioning? Help us with that.
One of the greatest incentive right now is the crime being down, where people no longer have to worry. So if I go around that corner, I'm going to get a shot, I'm going to get stabbed, I'm going to get killed. And that was not enough. That was not enough.
Yeah, but don't you think that it is short? It's just because in terms of conditioning and behavior modification, it takes time, you know, sir. Because what you have to do is you have to commend small steps.
I agree, but I'm saying the change you and I would have for many times harp on has happened over the course of 9 years. We can talk about the increase in the minimum wage. People are earning way more now than they earned back then.
Yeah, but 18 and a half years, you know, 18 and a half years is not erase.
I am happy you brought that up because a lot of people, when you mention 18 and a half years of the destructive force called the PNP and PNPism, they say we're living in the past.
Yes.
They say we're living in the past, not understanding how pivotal a role those 18 and a half years were to putting us in a very deep and dark hole. Neighbor, it is so important to understand where we are today. If people really understood...
It's a fascinating discussion. I like it. Go ahead.
If people really understood where we are today, neighbor, you see, because I understand I'm a fair to the things where these things are concerned, Labour, we're considered a failed state.
Well, Bill Clark said it, you know, sir. Bill Clark said it, you know.
Yes.
You remember Bill Clark?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And if people understand what that means.
And when Bill Clark said that, many people in the private sector, including in the PNP, came out hard on him. I think he had to kind of withdraw it a little bit, but Bill Clark was correct. Because, sir, when you look at the definition of government, and you look at the fundamental principles there, we were indeed a failed state. You can't be killing 30,000 people in 20 years and you're not failed. Governments fail.
Exactly. We were in the economic dark ages.
Yeah.
International lending agencies saw us as a laughing stock. That where we are today, they have commended the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness led Jamaica Labour Party, as presiding over the greatest economic comeback in history.
What are you saying to me?
Yes. The greatest economic comeback in history, while the PNP presided over the great... I'm going to take my time and say this one.
Yes, sir.
the PNP, the People's National Party,
It's a
presided over.
Yes.
Presided over.
Just record it. Play it
yes.
back. All over the world.
Yes, man. The People's National Party presided over the greatest transfer of wealth from poor people to rich people since slavery. Since slavery. And if you understand,
you said that. I know you said that is one of their own.
Reverend Ronnie Twaits.
Yes.
Reverend Ronnie Twaits. So no PNP, no comrade can come to me and say, I said it. Reverend Ronnie Twaits said it. And the Jamaica Labour Party, the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party, presided over the greatest economic comeback in history. So much.
Something. Are you a member of the party, sir? Are you a member of the Labour Party?
No, I am not.
You are not.
I am not.
You are not a member of the Labour Party, sir?
No, I am not.
You are just an ordinary
ordinary Jamaican patriot that is willing to die for my country. I love my country, neighbor.
Oh my God.
I love my country. Neighbor, listen. I'm gonna tell you something. I studied engineering. I studied psychology. I studied healthcare. I was studying to become a doctor. I studied economics. And I have traveled the world far and wide. And I am telling you, there is something different about Jamaica. Jamaica is the second most coveted culture in the world. Number one is Japan.
Yes.
Jamaica, by landmass, cannot compare to nowhere else in the world. We are such a small dot on the map. And our influence travels far and wide.
What is happening at the World Championship, sir?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to talk about that.
The other day, Kenya and Cameroon were playing a match. 40,000 Kenyans stand up because Cameroonians don't consider themselves black. And Kenyans stood up and were playing the busy signal. Martin Luther Black. Like, it was a busy signal dancehall song they were playing. That little dot on the map. They may say, when you check it out, Lord, no we're no better than yard. Those are not just words. Those are evidential facts. Jamaica's influence is so great that you have subcultures in urban areas, metropolitan centers in Canada, the US and UK, where their very language is a substituent of the patois. Their very language.
Yes.
That is the power of Jamaica. And to see where the People's National Party brought us for 18 and a half
years. The PNP presided over the greatest transfer of wealth. You have any evidence for that, sir?
There are several studies done. Several. Ask the IMF about it. That is why the IMF has had to impose austere conditions to us, because them say we don't have no discipline to manage our money. We have no discipline. Remember, at one time we were considered one of the most indebted countries in the world, you know. Somalia.
Not to mention the most murderous. I think one time we went to number one.
Yes, I was going to that. I remember in those times people used to say, when Jamaicans used to talk, people used to say, go on, where? Jamaica is such a violent place. I wouldn't want to go there. The murderous capital, murder capital of the world at one point.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And now we're at a place where we see murders down over 50%, crime down over 40%, and the elections were that close.
Yeah, well,
I am telling you, neighbor.
It is bothering.
The only way this is going to change is if Dr. the Honorable Andrew Michael Holness rules with an iron fist right now.
Iron fist, sir?
He has to.
But what does that? What does iron fist mean?
You remember, in the 90s,
this is a country which has a constitution.
Yeah.
How you iron fist?
You know that in the 90s, Siaga told Percival James Patterson he can't make certain deals on Air Jamaica, certain deals on the highway, and they didn't listen. They divested what they could have divested and sold it to their friends. Peter Bunting was the president of the DBJ, Development Bank of Jamaica.
Yes.
Who, and this is not my word, you can go and check it out, so they can say alleged. The paper trails are there. He sold the government's asset to his own company and made $70 million profit in 1991-92.
Is that so?
That is an evidential fact.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The former Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, said...
Yeah, but before you get to Lee Kuan Yew, sir, what you mean that Holness must rule with an iron fist?
Okay, just like iron fist, just like what PJ did. When I listen to where the opposition I say, if they're not presenting, let me say this. The opposition party is not there to oppose, neighbor. The opposition party is supposed to represent the systems of checks and balances so that power don't get to the head of the governing party. He's supposed to be there to say, hey, you get a little bit power stricken now. Chill. We know say power corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the opposition is there to say, hey, chill out. Remember, say, I know you alone run this thing. The plan we you put in, I don't think is a good idea. Here is an alternative. Here is an alternative that we must even try to look at and see our best way forward. It is not to oppose. We have something in the school, rural school bus program. You know how many kids are smiling? You know how many kids are smiling? And you have people out the old bus. But those quote-unquote old buses are built to last. They are like tankers. If those buses meet in an accident, those kids are safe. But if the coaster meet in our accident, if the taxi meet in our accident, just like what usually happens at Homewood every year, the kids are gonna feel it and the parents are gonna feel it. We cannot afford, we cannot politic with the kids' lives. We cannot politic with the kids' education. They are the future. And that is why we have to begin the change, the reconditioning of the minds of this next generation, because these children in 5 years, these 13-year-olds and 14 and 15-year-olds are going to be eligible to vote.
I agree. Hold on there for me. Astute. Don't move. Winston?
Yes, neighbor.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Astute is with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. You know, neighbor, sitting here and listening to the conversation between you and this gentleman, it overwhelmed me. Also, with your open, open remarks. And if you were noticing, I text in the box that in Jamaica, the wrong people are in the wrong position in this country. Because I am not here to praise you this morning, neighbor, but I would say to you, it is my opinion, and it's a conscientious opinion, that a man like you, neighbor, should be advising the government. Absolutely. Absolutely, neighbor. You see, neighbor, first and foremost, how are we going to breach the back of tribalism in this country? That is the first thing that we need to tackle.
Number one problem.
The behavior of Miss Rosemary Shaw last week out in St. Thomas. All of that behavior is on the premise of tribalism, right? And now that a different tribe is in control, the head of a tribe is defending its territory. Many people sometimes is not agreeing with my statement, but they are true. And so therefore, with this government now going for get the mandate from the people for a third term, let us find a way we can breach the back of tribalism.
Oh, Winston. Oh, Winston. Yes.
And so therefore, neighbor, let us start with the government infrastructure programs. Whichever government is in power and certain infrastructure development is going to take place. Most time you ask the member of parliament, wherever constituency that work is taking place, to provide a liaison officer and to provide labor for that project. Why can't we do it a 60-40? It is time for us, neighbor, to get there. If we seriously about development, if we serious about to achieve first status,
economic growth, sir.
Economic growth, because neighbor, you cannot have economic growth with some people leaving behind.
No, sir. And you know, sir, this idea of a 1.1% that we hug up and announce and clap over is rubbish, you know, sir.
Yes, neighbor, I know.
Yes, I mean,
I know.
we agree. You know, the PNP coined that term in the 90s called negative growth, sir. you know that?
Yes, neighbor, I hear people talk about it.
Negative growth, that the economy.
I hear a historian like yourself talk about it, neighbor.
Minus 0.1%. You know, the PNP, you know, sir, I really think that we need a third party in Jamaica to emerge, because the PNP not ready, you know, sir.
No.
You know,
neighbor, let me tell you something, neighbor. As yourself, who is an historian to some degree, neighbor. And don't say no, neighbor, because the educational material that you put out each day and this life, you must be an historian, because you have to double check and research to find these facts to present to us. Hurt me deeply when I hear learned men and women who should have known better. And some of them also study economics, which came on traditional media and saying, oh, yes, the country is making some inroad, but enough is not being done for the people.
I want to say to you, Winston, you have to understand what continuity plans look like. So, for example, if I am trying to build a scheme, I'm going to use Portmore as an example. Before Portmore was built, they had to dump up a lot of land before the real building process started.
Yeah.
Look at the Jamaican economy just the same. You see, because of where the People's National Party had us?
Yes.
Before we can see, even though we're seeing unprecedented things right now, before we can consider ourselves developed, we have to do some dumping up first.
Yes.
we get ourselves out of the insurmountable debt that we were in. That in itself is a feat. But for people who don't understand, for the small man, him a go say road can't eat, NIR can't eat, the call center jobs are not enough. However, you have to understand, say, every mickle make a muckle. And Jamaicans don't understand, say, sometimes, I won't say they don't understand. Jamaicans are tribalist. Because in the 90s, when the PNP wrecked the country, they same one came and told the people to ban them belly.
Yeah.
And get ready for suck salt to wooden spoon.
Yes.
And the people did it. The various unions did it. The various political agencies did it. Civil society did it.
And why is that so absurd?
They were headed.
Why is it that the people were so willing to fall in line?
I'm telling you why.
Lay off and give the government, give the people National Party all the room to wriggle through.
I am going to tell you why. A lot of these bodies were headed by people who were representatives or who loved or served the People's National Party. That is why.
Ask you, as I said to you before.
Hold on, Winston. So somebody said this is 2025, too much of the 90s. That shows the level of ignorance.
Right.
Because if you don't understand how the 90s affects the 2000s, you will make ignorant statements as that.
Yes. And so therefore, as I said before, when you go back to history and see where the People's National Party gave birth from, right? And the people who eventually gravitate to the People's National Party always see the People's National Party as some superior entity. Good things will happen for you. That's
Winston,
all the Jamaican
ironic. It is quite ironic, because the aristocratic class started the PNP, while the man who wanted, remember, universal adult suffrage came about as a result of the People's National Party being started by the aristocratic class, where only people who were rich people had a say in the movement of the country. Then now, we have a quote-unquote socialist party headed by a ultra-capitalist white man.
Yes.
These jokes cannot write themselves. How is it that you're supposed to be a socialist party, yet your leader, the person who is leading your party, is a capitalist? Astro,
I tell you, sometimes there are so many questions that run through my head and I even can't get the answers. Because the thing is, Astro, the most successful government since independent Jamaica went to the poll with all of these successes for the country. Not for the party, but for Jamaica and its people. But yet still, 403,191 people went out. Evening for Jamaica.
Yes.
And themselves.
Yes.
I believe that last Wednesday, not one PMP who was eligible for vote that did not came out to vote to get rid of this government despite the success of this government.
Can you imagine, sir? Winston, more than 90,000 more of them went to the polls than went in 2020.
Yes.
90,000 more
92,000 went to the poll.
I saw some little old people who can barely walk, sir. Get up out of them bed. They were in their beds for 2 years, can't get up themselves. But then get up out of them bed to make yourself.
On top of this government increase the NIS pension.
Yes.
On top of this government increase the part that the young lady at the corner of 5-6 children without any father given to them.
Yes, sir. What was driven it, sir? What was driving that?
My neighbor, you have to help me. My brain can't fathom it, so you have to help me.
What drives that in a neighbor? PNPism. The People's National Party don't care about the country. It is evident. Well, they only care about themselves and them pockets.
Is that what drove
them it? Only care about them. Neighbor, how is it that in the 90s, through the workers' union attached to the People's National Party, they created a bubble whereby inflation skyrocketed. The Jamaican devalued at 1,178%.
We're gonna give a few. Our time is limited. You can hang on there a little bit, astute, fascinating.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Patricia. No, is Patricia there? She's not there. Good morning, Scratchy.
Good morning, neighbor. Good morning, listeners, and good morning, everyone on the platform.
Good morning, one General Scratchy. How are you,
welcome, sir? Scratchy. How are you doing?
Not bad, neighbor. Not bad. I'm here. I'm just a share a point. I hear you sharing a point, neighbor. It's a good point, neighbor, but at the same point, I don't want you to. I kind of share a different view from it, you know.
No problem.
Yes, the argument you're saying over 400,000 persons went out and voted for the People's National Party.
Yes.
I think that's good, neighbor. That's good. That shows democracy. That's good. Yes. I think the issue is, neighbor, we cannot blame persons who participate in the process, neighbor. I think the issue should be the 1 million who didn't vote none at all. I think those are the persons who we should come and cast our blames ban. Whether you like to go, that 1 million, neighbor, is more than who voted for the People's National Party. So it shows that despite persons go out and party, well, we have to respect that, neighbor. I think we should show some form of respect.
I think the point, though, is that they were driven. They were very enthusiastic to go vote for their party, and I believe that the context here is that these very people are benefiting from. Well, he's gone. He's gone. He's yeah. I don't have any challenge with people voting.
I don't think that is an exercise of democracy, neighbor, because democracy is not voting for a party. Democracy is voting for the complete. You made it. You stated it. Democracy is when you vote for the total benefit of the country.
That's a partisan
That is what the democracy is. Yes. That is a partisan vote. That is not a democratic
vote. When you talk about democracy, you can't put benefit in it when you talk about democracy.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't talk about benefit in it? It is
the democracy is the ability, you know, to be able to go vote, you know. So when you want to be, you can't benefit. You what benefit you might not be beneficial to me.
Again, I am saying, Scratchy, I agree with you, you know, so we might have our hands in different pots. However, I am saying, if you are going to make...
I understand that there's a protest in Homer Davis's constituency. Xavier, can you check that out for me, please? Would you like to come and share what's happening over there, sir? I'm not so sure what's happening. Please. No? Why would they be protesting? All right. I'm going to have that checked out for you. All right?
I saw it earlier, and they're protesting about bad roads down there. Taxi men are protesting about bad roads.
Already?
Yes.
I wonder what
I saw the new member of parliament there looking clueless, neighbor. She don't even know who to call or what to do.
Clueless, sir. She is clueless. And you know something about that lady? You know something about that lady? She's going to understand that what she campaigned for, she will get it. She going to get it. Scratch. Because when you build people's hopes up and make them think that somehow you can give them water in 100 days, right? Not understanding that there's a process, especially the fact that right now, Scratchy, the government has not even been sworn in. Who's going to respond to that?
Exactly. She's there looking clueless, neighbor. So clueless.
Well, don't pay her no mind. Anyway, sir, go ahead.
Astute at the floor.
Yeah, no, so I was saying to you, you might have your hand in one part because of benefits to you while I have mine in another. But I'm saying the democratic process, do you know the word treason and what treason is? Treason is anything that you do to put your country on the back foot. I mean, I use technical terms because I don't want everybody we are here to understand. Anything where you do, you to put your country on the back foot, that is treason, you know. Anything at all. If you go to a country, if you get state secrets, if you sell out your country in a way where the lives of the people go down significantly while others' lives outside of your country benefit, that's treasonous. And I am saying to you, in our democratic process, if you are not voting for the overall benefit, all right, let me show you how some people stupid. The same people who voted for the People's National Party are the same people who use majority of the social services in the country, PATH and others. Yet still they voted against their own benefit. They voted against their own benefit. Not to, and additionally, let us talk about crime. The crime monster under the People's National Party, Jamaica was considered the murder capital of the world per capita. Which simply means, you know how crime affects every life in a Jamaica. It not only affect you as the microeconomic society, but it affects the country from a bigger scale. Nobody know how come your country come set up a factory because they're afraid that somebody will kill him. Him no want invest nothing in a social services because him no see no benefit. So that crime monster affects each and every person. Yet still, the opposition leader said he's not being voted in to continue the programs of the government. And the people voted for that. He said he's going to change and go on his own path.
But did they really vote for that, though, Astute? Or do they vote simply because they are comrades? They just vote for the PNP.
That is my point. That is my point, but it's one and the same. Because when you vote...
But for Astute, is that unique to only Jamaica?
It no matter. That is not our standard. We're not...
Maybe it's not our standard. We have always been like that. What do you mean?
Listen to what I mean.
Ever since we started in election, we always been like that.
Listen what I mean. You're saying if Jamaica is the only country who votes like that. I am saying to you, we now look at the bottom of the barrel to make that our standard. We are lifting our standards up and we are being the leaders. We're being the movers and shakers. We set trends. We are Jamaicans. We now follow people who are go to the bottom of the barrel and set that as their standard. We are building our own standard. We say we are making choices that benefit our country and our people on a wholesale scale, not just man uptown and the man in the upper echelons. We want everybody to benefit, equitability. So if me now make you, if my vote now make you benefit, at least my vote not make you worse off. And that is the standard we're aiming for. We now look to other countries who vote at the bottom of the barrel. If we say, oh, I know we are going to do that.
Yeah, Astute, but whatever standard you aim for Astute, realistic, you have to be realistic in whatever standard. It doesn't need 2.5 million people. Listen up, 2.5 million people doesn't need to directly vote for the Jamaica Labour Party to decide, all right, yes, this is the governing party and better party. Majority will always rule. They will always have, listen, Astute. Me and your direction where you see where your life going, you and the next person don't share the same aspiration there. You might look on crime and violence as a crime and violence are the main single factor you have voted the government for. And next person might look on the economy side, and next person might look at a social point of view. Well, everybody have a different way how them look when they're going to vote. But I don't expect everybody to vote JLP or everybody to vote PNP. I always expect there to be a split.
Well, I know. That is not my point. So you see how you just mentioned some people might vote on social issues. Some people might vote, well, social issues like crime and social services to ease the burden of poverty. Some people might vote on how the economy grow. But I am saying to you, when the People's National Party voter comes to the poll, he isn't voting on any issue at hand, because if you talk about infrastructure, who are building the base infrastructure unprecedentedly? If we talk about crime, who has historically the historic nature of the crime being where it is now, who will do the better job? If we talk about macroeconomics, who will do the better job? If we talk about microeconomics, like minimum wage, who will do the better? Name every social and economic indicator where anybody would have voted on and tell me why would they vote for the People's National Party. That is what I'm saying. I am not saying we are going to all vote on the same principles. What I am saying, whatever principle you're voting on was not based in anything outside of tribalism. It wasn't based on merit. Because if it was based in merit, then if you're saying I'm voting for my path benefits, then the person who gives the most and best path benefit.
And that's where we differ. I don't feel like you should. I think you have the authority that can decide that. That's where we differ.
Scratchy and Astute, we have ascertained.
Let's take a little break. Winston, give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. Fascinating discussion happening here. Just examining the vote a couple Wednesdays ago. Did the people really vote on issues? Is it tribalism? Are we suffering in Jamaica from a society that is divided along tribal lines? Well, Astute is here, Scratch is here, and Winston is also here. Why did they vote PNP? Why did 407,000 people go out and vote for the People's National Party despite the progress that Jamaica would have made over the last 9 years? We're tackling that today on Hello Neighbor Daytime. Please remember 876-858-9553. 876-858-9553. That's a number to send a WhatsApp to if you want to support the program. All right? All right, great. So we understand that there are a lot of other persons wanting to join. So Astute, wrap up now and let's see if we can move to some others.
Yeah, man. So me not argue. I agree with Scratchy on the matter of coming to the polls and voting for the things that you say would benefit you is a good thing. However, and it's not only a good thing, it's a mark of democracy and the democratic process. However, I still contend that a lot of the votes that were done so on partisan lines and not necessarily based on merit. And in saying that, if we are to change as a nation, we have to look at the generation that is coming and shape their minds to show them that in each person in this constitution, we all have inalienable rights, the freedom to speech, the freedom to go wherever you want to go, the freedom to life and liberties. That's what this constitution guarantees us. And until we make votes that make those inalienable rights, things that we can realistically achieve, we will never move forward to a developed nation. That is all I have to say. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for today, Astute. All right, great. Christian, your time. No, it's the fan we hearing. That's not gonna work. Nehemiah? No, you're not on either. Nehemiah? Javdane? Neither of those people are with us. Okay, so let's see if we can go back to Winston. Winston,
Yes, neighbor. As I was
go
saying,
ahead.
neighbor, when Scratchy and Astute have that dialogue, that we have already ascertained that the people of Jamaica are not properly informed, we are not properly educated on social issues or macroeconomic issues. And so therefore, neighbor, it is program like yours. I think we need others as well that will inform and educate the society. But the next thing I would want to say, neighbor, quickly, to break the back of tribalism, we have to start with this party come tomorrow when the government is being sworn in.
Yeah, but do you think
let us use
recognize Winston? Do you think that they are prized of this challenge?
if they are what, neighbor?
Are they aware of it?
Yes, neighbor. Remember, you know, each and every members of the cabinet or of the winning party have a constituency, you know. So they have to go back to the grassroots people. And they know even at the constituency offices, neighbor, even the members of staff practice tribalism. It is blatant. It is a part of our society. you know, neighbor. Let me tell you this, neighbor. You know that leading up to the general election, I was employed to carry out some construction work on a bridge, right? And I employ some people, right, to help me to do the work. I employ a lady, and the politics argument developed, and she was saying to me that she went to the constituency office, applied for one of those social houses, because she's in need. But she get to understand that her application was destroyed because she was labeled to be a PMP. She said, yes, she's from a PMP community. She have voted PMP before, but she have no problem to vote for the member of parliament. And she was saying to me, with your reach that you have, could you see if you could get 10 bags of cement for me from the office? Because she says she's trying to make up a little one room. She wants the floor to cast, to move in, but she can't afford the cement. And I said to her, neighbor, you know, yes, I could use my reach and say if I get the cement for you, but this is immediate. And you have to wait for a long time with a lot of following up. And I bought her the 10 bags of cement. On the election day, she called me when I was at the polling station working, because I am the cluster supervisor. She called my phone and she said to me, you know, this morning, are you me a vote for? Because I remember the kindness. She said to me, this morning, are you me a vote for Winston?
But you're not on
and
the
I
ballot,
have
sir.
7 more people. I have 7 more young men with myself, but the young man, them a look at thing. So if you can arrange a thing and get a vehicle, come pick them up, them ready. And I did that. Me now have to tell you what is the thing, neighbor. But I did that.
You bought juice. You bought king juice. Yeah. You bought
yes, neighbor. I bought some tin juice.
7 bottles of king. Well, that's fascinating, and it's fascinating that you said it. Don't move, Uncle Winston. Stay where you are. Uncle 100 Live?
Yes, neighbor, I'm here.
Yes, welcome back, sir. You disappeared for quite a while.
I would have me disappear already 1 hour, so let me switch off my ear.
Hold on there for me. Hold on there, 100 Live. You hold on there. Ladies before gentlemen. Team Share, Cozy Corner. Team Share, are you there? No, she's gone. Go ahead, sir. 100 Live. You're on. Good afternoon, everyone.
Let me switch off.
You're switching off, brother. Well, you hear what is happening there? That's how all people think, right? The lady say she have 7 more people. You have to give them a thing. Wow. It is how Jamaica. It's how we going to change this, guys.
I don't know. You hearing me now, Mr. Neighbor?
I am hearing you.
The politicians, it start from politicians, neighbor. Them start it, neighbor. When a politician come to you and tell us, vote because we have fixed the road out, so vote, then I stop. Them think that it's a lead back all right down to the grassroots. If you vote for a politician because he fix a road and then drop him do. When him getting a monthly salary for.
So here's my take on the whole situation, and it I don't know if I took a more from.
How do we address this, the tribalism in Jamaica, which I think was reflected in the vote in the last election?
It was a tribalic approach because I don't know, because of the way how the appetite that the PNP tried to fed their colleagues and their base, which is the word. But I don't know if I took a more comprehensive look on the overall landscape of why people do what they do in terms of like the decisions they make in their own life, in terms of like even voting, because not even for repeat to everything what Scratchy and the other guys say is that people do, there's a lot of nuances, right, in someone taking up a decision and even voting for a particular party, whether it be JLP or PNP, right? But however, a man, the reason why someone, because our people have a nature, it's human nature, and in Jamaica, such a small island, people want to attach themselves. Generally, this is everyone's objective. Like, they want to attach themselves to something that is perceived to be bigger than them or than they are, right? What does that do? That gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of goal. It gives you a drive in life. It gives you a mission, something to look forward to, whether for leisure or pain or for motivation, right? And whether it be that in the landscape of Jamaica probably don't have a lot to offer. So the biggest movement, the two biggest movement that Jamaica has, it is the two political parties, right? The PNP and the JLP.
By the way, I understand. You see that the opposition is trying to disrupt the swearing in of the Prime Minister tomorrow. Now, have you heard that, Scratchy? Hold on, 100. Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor. I heard something to that effect, neighbor. Yes, I did.
No. Is this true, Scratchy? Could this be true?
I don't know true it is, neighbor, but it's possibility, neighbor, that they might be trying to come up with some form of shenanigans again, neighbor. They have different style and ways how they can do things, but I mean, if we have a government, we have a country that is run under the neighbor, professional police force, I don't think they can stop anything tomorrow. But yes, there might be things in place they're planning, but they can't stop it tomorrow, neighbor. Definitely can't stop that.
I don't that. I'll have more on that. Guys. That's something that I'm checking out for you. Go ahead, 100 Live. Continue your.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that, is that people like in, the two biggest movement that is in Jamaica, the small land that we love, is the both political parties, JLP or PNP, whatever one you want to align yourself with, right? And whatever decision you make, right, and you invest yourself, whether being it your time or your efforts or even your own personal mental investment of supporting either movement, it causes you to make a decision, right? And then now you're put in a compromising position whereby you're trying to delegate for this movement to have put its best foot forward and its best face forward, right? And then sometimes that decision is being passed down to you, whether by generation. There's a lot of nuances on how you reach to the part where you make the decision of whether or not I'm going to support the PNP or I'm going to support the JLP, right? As I said, there's a lot of nuances. It could be the fact that it could be a plethora of reasons. I could hate someone that supports I could hate you that supports the Jamaica Labour Party, so I support the PNP. It could be my mother is a JLP, so it's passed down to me. It could be that a MP gave me something when I was young. It could be that they fixed something in my road. It could be that they pick a apple. It could be that they gave me a phone card. It could be that they gave me a phone. There's a lot of nuances and reason why you made that decision initially, right? And then now you're reaching this point of the stage now where you support this movement, right? And then you invest yourself into this particular movement, right? So now you become attached to it because, as I said, it is bigger. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of drive. You get up every day and you look forward to this trajectory. You look forward to whatever sadness or pain or joy this thing may offer to you, right? So to make a whole it is to make a decision contrary to what you believe in. It is you going against your very nature and your very core belief to come to solve now week, to humble yourself and to come to even a conclusion that, hey, in Jamaica today in 2025, the Jamaica Labour Party is the viable option, right? For someone that says that they are a PNP representative or are a PNP supporter, that's the right word. For someone to say that I'm a PNP supporter and to take off their glass, their tribal glass, and look at the landscape of the island and see where the country is heading, and to acknowledge that fact and to apply themselves accordingly to that fact. It is them literally opposing the very nature and the very thing that they hold dear too much. And I think that is a challenge in of itself, right? And I see where this is understand at the subconscious level is understand by the leaders of the PP, and in some way more than one they appeal to the tribal nature of people because they did have their hands on Jamaica for a long time, and in between that time there's a reason why they held the throne for such long and consistent amount of time, right? So even when them say Jamaica is a PNP country, you cannot be too ignorant with it and don't. So the mindset, them way of living is still invested, is still the shadow, the remnants of how them allow the people them to conduct themselves or mentally is still in the society of Jamaica. So if them
it all comes down to
on the live, I want to ask you a question. When you look at the decision of the people out in the East Portland, right? Where the Prime Minister went there and the Prime Minister outlined that the $4.5 billion is allocated for the urban center. And after construction of this space, it will provide 3,000 direct jobs for the people of Portland. The Prime Minister also speak about $11.7 billion for the perimeter road for Port Antonio. Right? The Prime Minister also speak about the 1,000 unit housing development. The Prime Minister and maybe for the past 20 years or more, no new housing development come to Portland provided by the government. Right? More than 20 years. The government also speak about the East Harbour development, right? That cruise ship and tourism can return back to Port Antonio and the wider Portland. And the people of Portland who always say that Portland have the industry, Portland have a place to provide employment for its people, despite we have five secondary institutions, plus we have a horticulture and a teachers college. We have no industry at all in Portland. And the people went out to the poll with all of this information and voted against this. So the question I am asking on the line,
it really needs some deep Winston. We have somebody else online. Nick,
Your neighbor, afternoon.
good afternoon. Where are you calling from, sir?
I am calling from Portmore.
You're in Portmore. By
Yeah,
the
man.
way, I wonder if there's anyone online who is from Southern St. James. I'd love to talk to someone who get a little bit of handle on what is happening over there in Southern St. James. I understand that they're protesting for bad road. How could they?
But neighbor, if you look at it, you know, right? That girl who is actually now the MP for that part of St. James, I
MP
know
elect.
her. Yeah, MP elect, right? Now, I've known her for the past 15 years, right? And she has been running behind the
You know
PNP
of her, you know of her, you know her.
me know her, like know her, right?
Uh-huh.
Any weapon and knock for PNP, that's where she has been. But that is beside why I'm calling about the situation that I hear a lot of people talking about the voters in East Portland and all of these things, right? But if you should look at the bigger picture, right? Remember, over the years, a lot of PNP followers, right? And even some of the PNP members that are of parliament, if you listen to how they talk, right? They have always considered JLP to be a two-term party, and that's it, right? Now, if you listen to how they have been speaking for the past couple of months from
Hold on,
last
sir. Petal, you want to come and share what's happening in Southern St. James? Please send a request. Go ahead, Nick.
right? If you listen to how they speak, they did not come with anything that is of substance for this election, you know, right? It was mostly an attack on the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister alone. It was never about how we are going to come in and change things or even to make it better. It was just an attack on the PM, right? And talking about the PM account and all of these things, right? And it was just lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies until because
But
now
the question, sir, is that why did over 400,000 people accept
because
and endorse it?
because if you look at it in a neighbor, right? A lot of those persons who accepted it are the easily influenced persons. These are the same persons who will not take up a book or even go do them research and say, let me go see what is happening in the country.
Not 400 and not
No,
thousands.
neighbor, let me tell you something. You'll be surprised to know that these people, they will not go and do their own research. They are easily influenced because if you look at TikTok, most of these persons, right, who actually went out and me see on TikTok with them literally and show people how to mark the X beside whatever them have vote for. I am telling you.
400,000, sir.
I am telling you, neighbor, you'll be surprised to know. I am
But
telling you.
some of them are in Portmore. Where you come from?
Because guess what happened? I am in Portmore, and I will tell you this. A lot of them, when you hear all them talk, for them, sometimes I wonder where them the earth.
Well, that's a little tough, but
no, it's tough and it's harsh, but it's just the truth. Because guess what happened? Where I am located, right? This is a fixed Jackson constituency, right? I'm living in Portmore for 6 years now. I mean, I tell you, the road bad from now till Thy Kingdom come, and no changes are happening, and these are main roads, right? That lead from one point to the next. The new Phoenix development, right? That road has been bad for the past 6 years. No, them don't even come and say, them patch it out or even do something.
won by over 3,000 votes, sir.
Because the people them love the die-hearted business. That is a problem.
Business, sir. The people don't vote on issues about them. They just love the party.
Don't vote for issues, neighbor. Me and you, right? We are not living in denial. I am telling you, the people them not voting for issues. The people them not seeing the development. A lot of them seeing the development going on, and them will tell you, say, yo, them don't say nothing not one. Crime gone down, center must get highway, center must get urban center, and them still tell you, say nothing not one. I am telling you, this is how these people think. A lot of these persons, if you listen to how they speak and how them address certain issues, right? It's all about if they can't get it now, right? It don't make no sense. It's the same thing earlier when Winston said, yo, listen, when the person said to him, oh, I come vote and I bring 7 people, but you have a letter of a thing. This is how most of these persons think. They are not looking at the bigger picture. And
Yes,
as
yes, how are we to begin this process of removing this sore from our society? Where
yes, neighbor, go ahead.
Our people are no longer driven by partisan interests, but look more at the national picture and said, let's do a vote for Jamaica. How do we begin this process of unlearning tribalism? Huh?
All right, no neighbor. And this is why when what's her name? Foreign Affairs, Kamina, right? This is why when she came out and she said she appreciated persons that were actually the vloggers, right? That came out and were educating people. Not because
she said that?
She said it, man. She said it, right? It is on TikTok. You can research it, right? And she big up all of the vloggers. She did not call it a name, but she big up the vloggers that stood by the party, right? And was addressing certain issues and was educating people on certain issues, right? This is what I am saying. No, not because the election is over. We need to continue the work. We need to educate the people and for the next 5 years so that they can actually see it. A lot of persons, right? After everything is said and done, they will then forget what is happening, and then when it comes on to election,
they just go back to their normal way of life.
Back to their normal life.
For the next general election call, then come back out of their hole.
Exactly. So until we educate people on these issues and things that are happening within the country for them to actually see it, when election come, that are the old days, them come out and them over. But once we are riveting them head from now till the next 5 years, and then we can show them the development of what is happening. And this is one of the things that I would love, right, for the PM or whoever is running them social media page, right, to get some people on board, right, and each time because people up on TikTok to educate the people on all the developments, right, and all the things that are happening within the country.
Do you think, my good sir, that it is a lack of information, or is it what they call cognitive dissonance, where people know the facts but are so tribal that they refuse to accept facts? So, for example, this whole matter of 28 bank accounts, it was proven by the authorities that no go so, but yet still the opposition leader brought it to the debate stage, sir.
But remember, in a neighbor, right? But even the Bible says, my people that are lack of knowledge, right? No matter where you tell them still not accept it, because let me tell you something. You have a thing where we have a saying that says first come, first serve, right? So if me come serve you the lies from first come, right? To the people who will not go out and do them own research, right? And try to seek out the information. All with the evidence that them still have to tell us a lie. That is how people operate. But the only way you can actually convince these persons, right? Because as I always say, when you're working with certain people, you try to understand who they are as an individual and how do you work around them or how do you work with them, right? Now that we understand this is how these people are, right? You see, anything that is happening, we need to make the people know from now, say, these are the works that we're doing now, right? And these are the things that are happening, right? Yeah. So it's because we know how their mindset, how their mindset is, right? You see, once we start doing that, you see the next 5 years, right? Them same people, no matter what you tell them, you can't tell me nothing. Because me see this happen and that happen, and I see the changes, right? And these are the things that have happened within the 5 years, right? If you realize,
are you one of them, sir? Are you one of them that although the Labour Party won, are you one of them that you're concerned about the result, the margin?
No, I am not. I am not concerned about the margin, right? But one of the things that I am going to be very fair, because me I go say this straight up. Me a Labour right and me a die-hearted Labour right if you want to put it the way there. And why I am that way is because I have seen the work, right? And I've seen where Jamaica is heading into a better direction. But let me say this to you. Based on the results, right? I am going to say this, neighbor, right? All of what happened, right? And some persons have lost their seat, right? And some persons have lost their seat unfairly. This now will then get these persons who are elect, right? To understand this is not a party shop thing and this is not a play thing. When work start and when work is supposed to presume, we don't need to work. And I'm telling you this, if my Labour right MP them all over Jamaica now work, right? Vote them out.
But then, sir, this you are being a little contradictory here because
no, I am not being contradictory, neighbor. Let me tell you why I'm not being contradictory. Let me answer this, right? Let me answer this. If you employ somebody within your business place, right? And you know that that person is not performing, would you continue paying that person when you know say person not doing work?
No, sir, but then Jamaica,
that's my point exactly.
Hold on. But Jamaicans, sir, largely vote for government, for party, for prime minister.
But it should not be that way, neighbor. And let me tell you why it should not be that way. Because guess what happened?
It is how we vote, though, you know.
Yeah, but here what is happening, neighbor? It should not happen that way. And that's why when the PM come out and say, do not choose the Labour Party, do not choose PNP, choose Jamaica. What does that tell you? We choose our country. If we are going to sit by and allow a person to be in that position, right? Just like how such man be in the position for 18 years, right? And when he realized, yo, it was coming on to the next election with Bruce Golding, PJ Pattis did not retire because him say, oh, a time come for me retire, you know. He realized he never lose. And what do you think the man do? The man make sure say, yo, here, me I go increase my salary, me I go increase my benefits, right? And then me I go step aside, right? And when me step aside, all of this that is in place, right? That's how me I go get until me dead.
But is it generally accepted that Anne-Marie Vaz was a performing MP? Why did she?
And because, and it go back to what I say again, neighbor. When you have persons that are going out to vote and do not educate themselves on the issues that are happening within the country and the development of the country, right? And a person come tell you, say, right? You can take salt and sweeten your tea and it will taste just as good. When we know, say, once you drink salt, your blood pressure will go up, right? This is how these persons operate. And them see the work and them still a complain same way because guess what? Portland has some of the best roads, and how I know that 2018 when I went there, right, the road them did bad till that kingdom come, and when I went there last year, right, Portland have some of the best roads, better roads than even Portmore and Kingston. I mean, not exaggerating. And I'm not exaggerating. So the fact is that they voted out the lady because this is what I lied with them tell. Oh, she has sell out the beaches, right? Which not never go so. So these people have been easily misled and they're easily being brainwashed. And that is the problem that we have in Jamaica right now. Is the fact that you see somebody working and somebody come tell you, say, yo, you know, say neighbor thief out 100,000. When neighbor take the 100,000 and say, yo, Ewa, me I go help Tom, they can hurry around the road, right? So they start out themselves. But because them want the 100,000 and them realize, oh, yeah, get the 100,000, that's how them operate.
And neighbor.
Yes, sir.
The whole thing about tribalism, neighbor. It's when you look at the scarce benefit and spoils, neighbor, but a lot to do with the tribalism of the politics, neighbor. The distribution of the things about the politicians of them control of the constituencies, neighbor. It helps create tribalism because, neighbor, for example, say you have a PNP community, neighbor, and there's some PNP community, there are communities that form constituency, that make up constituency. Neighbor, in every constituency about PNP and JLP, so there's a PNP member of parliament. Most of the benefits that come through that PNP member of parliament, like the constituency development and those things in the neighbor, the community that is a JLP in that constituency don't benefit as much, from that, So what you think about me now, neighbor? No matter what PNP government come with, a Labour man will always say, yeah, Labour want in power because of my MP now get the money. Neighbor, you sent time you go in a constituency, neighbor.
It is the distribution of the spoils, Scratch.
That's causing the tribalism, neighbor.
Benefit and political spoils have contributed to the hostile tribes that we have. And we seem to be perpetually at war, Scratch.
Exactly, because neighbor, when time you go in a constituency now,